Well, welcome back everybody to the GT series in Motorsport Manager. And we're over the halfway point now of season number 2. Not the best time last time out. We're starting to slip backwards through the field. We always knew we were going to. We just got to try and slow that decline as well as we can. Vosu had a great race last time out in 11th. I say great. It's great for what previous races have been and where we would expect to finish around about now with still the worst car on the grid. Still. Are we ever going to get off the bottom of that table? I don't know. And Dreyfus unfortunately crashed out. She's now got an injury which she will carry into the next race, so that's not going to help us too much. But this sponsor slot is going to be hopefully our saving grace in terms of our bank balance. We're pretty short on cash at the moment. It's pretty difficult to build any parts for the car without going into debt, which I don't particularly want to do, but it might be our only option. It depends what we want to do, you know. If we're just aiming, I'm aiming for 8th as a minimum. If we finish 8th, I think we would have done a good job, and we're definitely moving forward then. So to be honest, we can probably achieve that without putting anything else on the car for the rest of the year. But you know, the daredevil in me, the betting man, will always want that little bit more out of each season. We've still got 4 races to go, so a lot of racing left. So we'll see. Depends what kind of sponsor offers we get. And now the problem is these are just bonus payments if we achieve what they want in the race and qualifying. I've got a feeling that's all that's, yeah, because they're the race bonus sponsors. This slot 6 for the fixed payment, that's what we really want next time out. So I will let that roll on and just see if we get a better offer. And considering the best result we can probably achieve is sort of just inside the top 10 if we're lucky. A sponsor that allows us to fit a payment if we finish in the top 10 will be useful. So we will take on one of those sponsors, of course. Alright, I just cannot put. Just look, you can see when we get the sponsors, it's when it stays level, and then it just drops in between sponsor renegotiations, which isn't too good. Anyway, what we're looking at on the car then, we still got some good performance to find in those 2 new brake sets. Reliability of the engine and gearbox is good. We could do with improving that second gearbox. I think I'm going to switch that suspension over to that. These 2 performances on the 2 new suspensions have also got a long way to go. There's a little bit of improvement we can make on the engine and gearbox, but I will leave that till after the brakes and suspension. So let's continue. If you haven't already, by the way, go and watch my Season 3 finale of the single-seater playthrough, where we're in the title fight to hopefully get promoted at last to Division 2. If you haven't watched it, I'll leave that highly suspenseful moment to you. I don't think it's really that filled with that much suspense, but you never know. You might be crazy about it. Right, so good job we did wait, because we get Luxinia, who are going to give us 300,000 up front. And it's also the lowest position. So I feel that would give us a good solid payment per race, 12, because that's achievable. And we get the 300,000 up front, guaranteed. So we shall take that offer from Luxina, get that 300,000 in the bank. Although we're losing $1 million a race, so that's not really going to go very far at all. But at least it's in the bank, and we've got a sponsor objective we might actually be able to achieve, which will help us out. Right. Our mechanics have been complaining for the long hours. Now I can't pay $500,000. I'm afraid I'll have to take that -5 hit. No pay rise. If I can't afford to put new parts on the car, I'm not paying my mechanics more, I'm afraid. And no, that is not. There's no correlation between those 2. Just because we're not paying them enough doesn't mean they shouldn't be building parts. But we've got to give them the money to do so. So that's our problem. I'm interested to see how the end of the season turns out, because we took a massive hit bringing in 2 new drivers and new mechanics, and that's really not helped us with our budget. We might have to reevaluate our drivers for next year, or maybe one of the mechanics, because we're paying far too much out, and I don't know that our marketability will get much higher anytime soon. So we need to work off the budget we've got. But for this season, we're sticking with what we've got anyway, and we'll see what we change next year. Right, how are we getting on? Still a lot of improvement there. Has this moved to? I think it's only moved like a day or two. It's had a lot of events. We still got 20 odd days till the next race. £1 million to. You see, I'm not one for being given a free vote anyway. Well, not free, $1 million, but a backhanded deal essentially. And I'm definitely not paying $1 million for it. So you can go do one, Ernie. I'm going to report you to the authorities if you ask me that again. I have my integrity intact, even if it doesn't really help with the performance of the car. Vosu is a gambling addict. So -2 to focus and -20 to morale. That's not good news. I wish there was a way to resolve some of these. I like the story element of it, but if you can't do anything about it, it's just like, oh, your driver's just got worse. Oh, thanks. Could I have done anything to prevent that? No. Oh, okay. That was just for the sake of it then, really, wasn't it? But there you go. Someone's nearing the end of their career. I don't care. Alright. We're on target at the moment. We're still 4th, amazingly. But we're unlikely to stay there. No. Not design new part. I wish I could, but I can't. Right. This is moving. Why has it gone all over to performance? What the actual fuck? That's why it's not improving. How did I not notice that? And why has that done that? Oh, stupid game sometimes. Really stupid. Oh, okay. That suspension still going to be a bit of a problem. Should get it up a couple more %, maybe into the 70s, but that's really hurt us. We've wasted good time there. But it does mean we've put a lot of effort into performance, so we might be able to make a small step forward this weekend, you never know. Oh, we're nearly there. We're going to be chastised again for money. Piss off, Thomas. Or I will kick you off the board. Because I should be able to. It's my company. It's got my name on it. Okay, and we're ready then. So we'll go with that 12th place. Just because I think that's guaranteed money we might get. 12th place we should be able to achieve at least one car. 8th is... We've not achieved it for a while. As you can see, 5th in Munich, but 12th and 11th in the last 2 races. So 12th is probably whereabouts our pace is if we have a good race. Claudia's very angry. She's really not happy with her car, but there's not much I can do about that. And Jacob, we did give a better car last time out, and it's probably been improved as well. So she's got the better brakes. I don't know what she's complaining about there. She's got the better engine. Gearbox we could reverse. Still 3%. What is the part that's swinging it? I guess it's that suspension. Okay. She's a number 1 driver and we want to look after her. She is injured for this race, although that injury seems to have gone away. But we'll give her back the best car, even though Jacob did do a much better job last time out than her. But hey, I'm a man of my word. Right, this has gone on far too long, this blabbering section. So I'm going to get practice done, and I shall be back with you for the qualifying session. Okay, the cars are out for qualifying then. Practice was okay. 98% for Dreyfus, great setup for her. 95% for Vosu. I couldn't find a way to fix his. He had one setting that had to go to the left, which was the weight distribution. And I couldn't get it to go any further left without mucking up the other 2 settings, which were on perfect. So it was excellent even. So there's nothing I could do. So 95 was the maximum I could work out for him. Still pretty happy with that. Dreyfus has as good a setup as we're going to get her. And she's got the better parts on the car, so that bodes well anyway. Qualifying again, we're looking for sort of 15th if we can get it. I think either 14th or 15th is our highest qualifying position of the season. And when one of our drivers hooks it up, that seems to be as high as we can get with the car in the state that it is. So we shall go for 15th, hopefully. As Vosu crosses the line to do a 102.9. And Dreyfus, she hasn't. She's done exactly the same time. Both cars have done a 102.999. Actually, it's now changed Vosu's to a 998. But they're still both 1.691 off the leader. So, incredible. Either they both mucked up their laps, that was incredibly lucky, or that's the absolute maximum we can get out of the cars. I think that was just luck. I'm hoping we've got a bit more speed in the car than that. We shall send them out. We've got a little bit of time to wait, actually. I've realised that the last few races, we send them out very early, and the track grip does have a bearing on the times they can do. Wow, both our drivers have a couple of attempts short of that group that we want to be mixing it with. So that doesn't bode well for the weekend. Hopefully they can get a better run on their second set of tyres. Yeah, because this is looking horribly familiar with last season. 2 minutes, that's probably about enough. Fresh set of soft tyres, out goes Dreyfus. We'll just leave it a little bit, not too long, because we got this completely wrong a couple of races ago. And send Vosu out. Should be easily enough time to get round. I'm really hoping they can improve, because if we're back at 19th and 20th, which is possible because we've stopped developing the car recently, so there's a good chance that the AI have caught up and overtaken us, or overtaken us even, because we've always had the worst car, but that gap might have just got a bit big. We shall see. Dreyfus half a second down through the first sector. Vosu 6 tenths down, 9 tenths down for Dreyfus through the second sector as she crosses the line. She does improve by 2 tenths, 102.7. Vosu coming up to the line now to 103.0. So Dreyfus does improve. She lifts herself 1 position to 18th. And that's closer to that little group of cars than we were initially. So I'm not too disheartened. I think we can get in amongst them if we get a good strategy. Vosu's time a little worrying, but is 2 tenths the difference between our best car and our worst car in terms of the parts? Possibly. I guess we will find out. Right, 12th is the aim, to get that bonus of 125,000. It's not going to save our skin, but at least it will keep the heat off us a little bit. Right, soft tyres and race trim for Vosu. And we will go race trim and engine expert for Dreyfus. I go for race trim over soft tyres when we got an engineer one to add, just purely because we you then get that boost on both sets of tyres, whereas soft tyres is obviously only soft tyres. I don't really need to explain that too much more. I always have to remember, yeah, this is the hang on, 37. How many laps? I'm going mad. I haven't played this for a few days, and all of a sudden I am completely confused. Change setup. Yeah, we can't change the fuel levels, so that is how long the race is. Session length 37. I'm going crazy. Just forget about it, okay? I think we might put both drivers on the medium tyres this time. Why didn't Vosu's change? There we go. And we shall go... let's go for it this race, shall we? Let's go attack and overtake for the first lap and just see if we can get a few positions. Right, I need to get my head in the game. A little bit slow today. A little bit confused for some reason. Right. 5 lights. And away we go. Good start from Vosu, picking up 1 position. Dreyfus looking to take place into what wasn't really turn 1, but everybody braked ridiculously hard for it anyway. And she does go 1 position forward up to 17th. We'll click it up to 2 speed now. And Vosu trying to take 18th and does. I don't know what happened to the AI there a minute. 15th and 16th now as we come around the final corner. to the end of lap 1. We're going to go back to push and high. 1 tank of fuel, remember, so we've got to be careful with it. These medium tyres are going to take a little while to come up to speed, but everybody around us is also on the medium tyres as Dreyfus tries to make a move on Pernette but can't quite get down the inside there. But that's a good start. We've made some positions up. We've got past a lot of the medium tyre runners because that's going to be important because the soft tyre runners will come in first and then we'll have some free air. So we want to be at the head of that medium tyre group. And Dreyfus is attempting to get past Pernette. They've been side by side for about 4 or 5 corners now, and finally, is she going to get the move? I'm just going to use the boost just to make sure she gets that well and truly sewn up by the straights. Although Pernette's now trying to come back down the inside, Vosu, we're going to use his boost to defend from Millardo in the other car for that team, same car as Pernette. And 14th and 16th. We're right at the front of that medium tyre group. Kinney is the other one in 11th. A few cars away at the moment. Alright, we're going to keep pushing. I'm going to go back to medium fuel though. Just because we don't want to use too much early on. But we need to keep pushing because these medium tyres really aren't warming up too well out there. Vosu has lost another position back down 17th. Initial thoughts are that Dreyfus has definitely got better pace in the car than Vosu today. She's even starting to catch Parker, Kinney and Fernley, which is good news. If we can get Kinney, then we will be pole position of the medium tyre runners, which is good news. It shows good pace today. Right. So we're probably looking around about lap 13 or 14 if these tyres hold up, maybe a little bit earlier because they are wearing pretty quickly and we don't want to be doing any laps under sort of 20% really. Dreyfus now taking a look at Parker, goes around the outside. We're going to use her boost down the straight to make sure she keeps that position. She does, and she's now up to 13th place then as Parker goes straight into the pits. So he's had enough of those soft tyres. He's going to put another set of soft tyres on. I was going to say this is probably, this might even be a free stop. It's definitely a 2-stop. Might be a free stop, you know. It's a long old race, this one, for some reason. It's quite a short lap, but it's pretty high on tyre wear, it would seem. So maybe looking at putting the medium tyres on again for these guys, just to go as long as they can. If we can get a free stop out of the mediums today, a 2-stop, we might gain a pit stop on a few people. Dreyfus is now up to 9th, but that's because a few more cars have pitted. We need to decide when really we want to bring her in. Everybody is seemingly pitted at the moment. Vostu's got a bit more tyre life in those mediums, so I think we'll bring Dreyfus in this lap. It's only lap 10 though. I don't think she can do another lap on it without dropping below 10% though. So we're going to put the mediums on again. We're going to recharge the battery. Parts looking okay. That suspension is the worrying bit. But we should be okay. We'll leave it on balance for the first stop. Not too worried about that. Tyres are actually overheating. That's what we've done. That's why we've lost the life out of them. So I haven't paid attention to that. So Dreyfus is in pit lane now. Vosu, we're going to use his charge just in case. I always recommend using that charge just before you go in the pits, because if you lose charge when they try and recharge it, which you often do, then obviously you don't have it for the rest of the race. You may as well use that charge before you come in, because you may never get to use it again. Right, Dreyfus is back out in 20th. So pitted a little late, it would seem. Vosu, did I not pit him? I thought I'm an idiot. Have I? I thought I pitted Dreyfus twice there. I was really worried. But no. We just left Vosu out an extra lap, which will actually help with tyre life. And they did last the distance, thankfully. So that's good news. I'm going to go up to push for Dreyfus just to get that tyre temperature up. And then we need to remember to drop it this time. So Vosu will come back out in 20th and last place. Dreyfus has actually climbed to 15th. Now a few cars are pitted. So she's still in a pretty good position. We need a few more positions to get that 12th place though. But there's still a couple of cars to pit. Channon and Kinney are now in the pits. So I don't think we're going to get Kinney, but we do get Channon. So we're up to 14th and it's an almighty bloodbath into turn 1. Dreyfus coming out the worst for it. She's actually lost positions back down to 15th. So we're in the hunt. 12th is literally the top of this group, and 12th would be a good result today. Vosu, we're just going to use his charge down that straight, see if he can get Millardo or Farah into turn 1. He doesn't, but he's very close. Dreyfus has now lost another position. Oh, come on. Fight, girl. How has she lost so much tyre life already? I'm going to stop pushing. So they're overheating a little bit. I'm a little bit worried by our tyre wear here. This is going to be a 3 stop, but maybe even a 4. This is crazy times. Okay, we'll just settle into this section of the race. Let our guys just see what they can do. Let's go and watch Vosu for a little bit, back in 20th. It's not exactly all over the back of Farah. Not falling away too badly, but doesn't seem to have the pace today. And that's worrying. No retirements either. Dreyfus has just lost another place. What is the matter with our guys? She just lost a place to Park, who's on really old medium tyres. This is getting a little worrying now. Right, so we can probably get about 10 laps out of the mediums. And Dreyfus can probably get another 3 laps in. We're not going to be able to go far enough to do just one more stop. So I think it's going to be 2 stops on the soft tyres. Would be a good plan. Maybe pit a little bit early and try and get an undercut. Some guys have made their second stop now. Yeah, I'm going to take an early stop and go on to some soft tyres and see if we can get an undercut working here. Let's put that charge back in. Because these medium tyres aren't lasting well at all. I'm not saying the soft tyres necessarily will, but at least we'll be quicker. And get out of that scrap of traffic. As long as she can get back out in clean air, which she has. Parker just ahead is on the same strategy, just come in for soft tyres. We've got a lot of charge to play with. Vosu can probably go quite a lot longer. He's really light on his tyres today, which is good news. So Vosu might, if he's lucky, be able to pull off just one more stop and make this race a 2 stop, which would get him right back in to the mix for where Dreyfus is fighting. Dreyfus is just behind Pernette, who's just made their second stop onto the mediums. So now we'll see. Now we'll see if she's got the pace to get past Pernette. Now she's on the softer tyres. She does nicely. Got the outside line for the first corner of the chicane, inside for the second, and she's ahead by the tight right-hander. And she's away into 17th place. And that's going to be useful because that means we can make the most of this undercut all the time you're fighting. So use that little bit of boost, anything we can get before people start making their second stop. Lee in 12th has made 3 stops already and is still 12th. What I would give to have that kind of pace in a car. That's pretty staggering. Right, Vosu can use his boost. He's got quite a lot in the tank. going to go to push because the tyre's a little bit cool. And now we need to make that decision for Vossi then. What's his current stint length? So he's done 11 laps first time out. He's done 13 this time. So yeah, he's definitely going to be able to get to the end. So we'll pit him this time around onto medium tyres. Everything on the car looking okay. And he should, as long as he doesn't lock up or make any mistakes on those tyres, he should get to the end, and that will be a 2-stop. So Vossi's right back into here by being nice and light on his tyres. It's only him and Channon by the look of it, and Kinney, that will be able to do the 2-stop. So it's a good alternate strategy. Dreyfus will be able to go hard on these tyres, and then another set of softs or mediums. It depends how far she can go on them. She needs to get really to a lap about 30 on those softs, which she looks like she'll do. She used that charge out of the pits to defend from Parker. Vossu back out in 19th. But all those cars ahead don't have to pit again. Vossu doesn't, as Channon now makes his second or her second stop. I always have that problem in Motorsport Manager. It's great that there are women in it, and that it represents them so strongly. Unlike pretty much every other racing game in history. But it does make it confusing, because I don't want to say him or her when it's not him or her. I mean, most of you guys probably don't know who the drivers are. You might do. But I have to use ambiguous terms like them or it. No, you can't use it. They're on a computer game, but they're virtual people too. Can't call them it. Right. Dreyfus should get one more lap after this. Let's push it as far as we can just to make sure we don't run out of soft tyres. And we will come in this lap for another set of softs. She's done 8 on them this time. Oh, that's going to be close. I want that speed though. I want the speed in the car. She seems to be making good progress on those soft tyres. So as long as she doesn't go too hard on them, it should be lighter fuel, the tyre wear. All we need to get is one extra lap from what we've just had. So I feel, we've cooked Vossu's tyres early here. That's not good news. We need to back off quickly. I might just go to conserve to try and get that back in. Right, Dreyfus is into the pits from 10th place. She makes her third and final stop. She's going to come out just behind Vossu. And she's lost her ERS charge, which is a shame, but she got back out ahead of Farah. Actually, that was a lapped car just behind her. Farah's quite a long way behind. So 16th and 17th, both our drivers should have tyres until the end of the race. They've got enough fuel now. They have been lapped, so that's showing as +1. Leaders still yet to make their final pit stop, so I don't know if we'll have fuel to play with just yet. Now hopefully Dreyfus can get past Vossu quickly. I don't want to implore team orders here, but Dreyfus has a much better chance of finishing higher up than Vossu. Hopefully she can get it done. Careful guys. Lovely. Dreyfus gets the move done with ease. Vossu has got some charge, but I'm not going to use it till Dreyfus is clear. I don't want to swap them back round again. Just wait till the gap's a couple of seconds. Okay, we're probably safe to use his now. Right, we can go back to neutral. Those tyres have cooled down nicely. And both our drivers take 3 cars in the pits then. But Vossu immediately loses a place back. The leader, Partanan, there goes second past us. So we've got the fuel to use because we've been lapped and they're not going to pit again. So I'll go, yeah, I hear you buddy. We'll go to high. And use that fuel to defend. Dreyfus is off into 12th place. I don't think anyone else is going to pit ahead of her. No, so she just got to defend 12th place, and likewise with Vossu, needs to defend 14th. Really struggling on those medium tyres to warm them up, so I'm going to push with him. How's the car looking? Okay. Let's go to overtake. Haven't got many laps left. We'll keep an eye on that. Actually, no, let's keep it on push. Keep it on high. Right, Dreyfus has got 1.5 second gap. She's got to let the leader past here. Which hopefully she can do, because she hasn't actually been lapped. Which means her fuel level isn't good. But one problem I have is my recording thing goes right over the bottom right. And I can't really see her plus number. You'll be able to see it. I think that's plus 0.2, I think it says. So she needs to let the leader past. The leader's now finished, so she's got to complete this lap. So we'll have to go back to medium. Hopefully she can hold on to 12. Vosu is in 14th. And has finished because he's been lapped. I missed that. So Vosu finishes 14th. That's a good result from him. Just doing the two-stop strategy worked out. Dreyfus comes around the final corner. Everybody else had actually been lapped. So she cruises across in 12th, which was our target. Vacuzi for Grand Slam Autosport takes the victory. And that was a tough race. That was a lot going on there. Look at all those pit stops. That was a tough one because there was really high tyre wear there. I wasn't expecting that early on. We maybe could have adapted a little bit better, but I think we did a good job. I think Dreyfus switching to the two soft sets at the end really helped her climb a few more positions and get that 12th place. And Vosu doing a fantastic job keeping those mediums alive, meaning he only had two stops, and promoted him from practically the back of the field up to 14th. So I'm really happy with both drivers. That's a good result and some good steady points. And you can see the other two stopper there, Kinney, gained a bunch of positions as well, and Channon. So two stop was a good strategy to be on today if you didn't have the pace, and we pulled that off nicely with Vosu. So we'll see how that affects the championship. I'm expecting to go backwards, but not too badly, because that's still a nice little haul of points. So they both lose one more position in the Drivers' Championship. We dropped to 9th and 10th. And we dropped to 6th. Oh, that's a big drop in the Constructors. But, as I've been saying before, Vittori and Nicholson, they're the two cars we're trying to stay ahead of. Because 8th is my minimum target. And we're 30 points ahead of the 8th place team, Orleans. But we're a good 50 points ahead of these two. And we seem to be able to consistently beat them as well. So, that's good news. We are technically, there's only 4 points covering 4th and 7th. So if we can have a few freak results, only 3 races left. If we can have a few freak results or get the strategy right and get a few good results. All these teams have bad races. We could still be in the hunt for 4th, 5th or 6th or 7th. But 8th I think is where we're defending. So I enjoyed that race. That was a lot going on, and I like the strategy element of this game. That's what it. Yeah, the building the cars and all the teamwork and bringing the drivers together and everything. That is a fun aspect, but the racing is always what I enjoy, and that's the one thing it adds over something like an actual F1 game, a racing game, is that strategy element from the pit wall, and trying to pick the fastest way for your car to the finish on any given day. It's great fun, and with so many pit stops, so many different strategies, cars doing 2, 3 and 4 stops in that race. I loved it. Unfortunately, our bank balance didn't. We're now down to 400,000, but we have got a fixed payment sponsor coming in next time, so hopefully that's going to give us a nice little boost that we need to keep running in the positive. So that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed that race. We've actually got 4 races left, not 3. Do apologise about that. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button. Don't forget to leave your help and comments down below. I love reading them. Love hearing your feedback. And maybe for this episode, address the issue that I brought up at the beginning of the episode. We've now got that issue with we've got good drivers and good mechanics, and I think it was a designer actually we brought in, but they're costing us a small fortune, and we're going to really struggle to pay for them next season if we want to continue moving the car forward. So, do you think we should be getting rid of one of the drivers, both of the drivers, and just concentrate on the car? Or do you think maybe getting rid of the designer and a driver, or just the designer or just the driver? You know, how should we go about it? I'd like to start seeing some discussion about that. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not already. Go check out the single seater playthrough, which will be starting season 4 later this week. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.